The story is set in a city plagued by an extremely high crime rate. It opens with a tense scene, a high-speed chase involving 4 robbers in a truck being pursued by several police officers. The pursuit ends in a serious crash that nearly claims the life of one of the officers. The robbers, who managed to escape, are led by a couple named Charlie and Mia. After getting away, they immediately get out of the vehicle to deliver the stolen goods. Waiting at the drop-off point is a man named Ching, a member of a powerful Asian Triad crime syndicate. Ching then takes Charlie and Mia to the Triad's hideout. There, they meet a young man who turns out to be the only son of the Triad's big boss. It is revealed that the stolen goods are actually high-value narcotics. For pulling off such a risky job, Charlie and Mia are paid a large sum of money.
You can leave us.
However, the situation turns tense when a car full of masked men suddenly shows up in front of the hideout. They issue a stern warning to Ching, telling him to leave the area immediately.
No, we gotta go.
Meanwhile, the story begins to shift focus to a veteran police officer named Walker. At that time, Walker is seen buying a Christmas gift for his daughter. It is revealed that he has separated from his wife due to his long-standing habit of taking bribes while on duty. Now, he must struggle to convince his ex-wife to allow him to see their only child.
Money was never the point. 18 months ago.
After being denied a meeting with his daughter, Walker continues his night patrol with his partner Ellie, a passionate rookie female officer. Unlike Walker, who has grown weary of the police force, Ellie still views her job as the fulfillment of a childhood dream. Soon after, Walker receives a call from dispatch to respond to a shooting scene. When he arrives, he is stunned. Several bodies lie in pools of blood, and one of the victims is the only son of the Triad boss. Drawing from decades of experience as a criminal investigator, Walker quickly pieces together a hypothesis and reconstructs how the shooting might have unfolded. The initial investigation yields a critical clue: CCTV footage showing the main perpetrator, who turns out to be Charlie. Walker is momentarily shocked to recognize the familiar face, but quickly composes himself and pretends not to know Charlie at all.
In the city,
I see assault rounds too. High velocities. The dead people here, they got a shot on.
Wasting no time, Walker goes to meet someone directly connected to Charlie, his own father. That person is Lawrence, the highly respected mayor of the city. But behind his honorable public image, Lawrence hides a dark side. He frequently uses dirty money to fuel his political career. One of the people he trusts to handle the illicit operations on the ground is none other than Walker himself. After learning that his son Charlie was involved in a major criminal case, Lawrence, the mayor, immediately asked Walker for help in finding and bringing Charlie back home. However, Walker, who was exhausted from being Lawrence's dirty hand for years, set one condition. He said that if he managed to bring Charlie back, he wanted to put an end to all the illegal work he had been doing under Lawrence's orders. With no other options, Lawrence was forced to agree to the demand.
I just want you out.
you heard me. I can work with that.
The next morning, the story introduces the boss of the Asian Triad, a formidable woman who is also the mother of the young man killed in the shooting the night before. The deep sorrow on her face is unmistakable. Shortly after seeing her son's lifeless body, she summons Ching and 3 of his subordinates, demanding they take full responsibility for her beloved son's death. Meanwhile, Walker heads to a district predominantly inhabited by Asian descendants to meet one of his personal informants, who also works as a doctor. Coincidentally, the doctor is currently treating one of the guards who survived the previous night's shooting. Walker takes advantage of this opportunity to extract information. Using a harsh and painful interrogation method, Walker manages to obtain a crucial clue. The shooters wore hockey masks to conceal their identities. With this new information, Walker heads to the hospital to visit his fellow officer, who is now in a coma due to the crash that occurred during the chase the previous night. At the hospital, Walker encounters his former colleagues from the narcotics unit, including Vincent, who now displays open disdain toward him. Also present is NG, the wife of the comatose officer. During a conversation with Walker, NG reveals that before falling into a coma, her husband had deliriously mentioned a dark incident from 2 years ago. At that time, Walker, Vincent, and 3 other team members were involved in a corrupt operation. They stole drugs and cash from a crime scene. However, an unexpected event occurred when a man suddenly appeared at the location. Without thinking twice, Walker struck him unconscious. They later discovered that the man was actually an undercover police informant. As the informant lay dying, Walker intended to take him to the hospital, but Vincent strongly objected. Fearing their crime would be exposed, Vincent coldly shot and killed the informant on the spot. At the same time, in a different location, we see Lawrence, the mayor, frustrated and shouting inside his car as he's stuck in a long traffic jam. Unaware of the looming danger, he has no idea that a serious threat is closing in. Still consumed by rage over her son's death, the Triad boss has sent her best men to capture Lawrence alive. After Lawrence is successfully kidnapped by Triad operatives, the story shifts back to Walker. He has now arrived at Raoul's workshop, the uncle of Mia and Charlie. His objective is clear: to find out where the fugitive couple has gone. Without much resistance, Raoul reveals that Charlie and Mia are often seen at a particular nightclub. Upon hearing this, Walker wastes no time and heads straight to the location. Meanwhile, the Triad boss remains furious and is determined to capture Charlie as revenge for her son's death. In the midst of the hunt, a former accomplice of Charlie's, who was also involved in the robbery, carelessly leaks the location of the nightclub frequently visited by Charlie and Mia.
If you let me live, I can take you to her.
Where?
To cut a long story short, Walker finally arrives at the nightclub. There, he immediately spots Mia sitting alone. He tries to convince her to help bring Charlie back to his father, Lawrence. But before their conversation can finish, the situation suddenly becomes tense as Vincent and 2 of his men show up. They are also hunting Charlie, though their true intentions remain unclear. Tension quickly escalates. However, before a conflict erupts between them, a group of Triad enforcers bursts into the club with one clear mission: to capture Charlie. This sets off a chaotic clash between Vincent's group, the Triad enforcers, and Walker with Mia. A fierce fight breaks out. Walker and Mia are caught in the middle of the chaos and must struggle to survive attacks from both sides, Vincent's team and the Triads. Just as Mia finds herself cornered, Charlie and Raoul suddenly arrive outside the club, leading to an intense shootout. While Vincent is busy fighting off the Triad forces, Walker takes advantage of the distraction to rescue Mia and Charlie, helping them escape from the club. However, their plan is disrupted when a group of police officers suddenly arrives. Walker tries to explain that he is also a police officer, but the situation quickly spirals out of control when one of the newly arrived officers is shot. With no other choice, Walker, along with Mia, Charlie, and Raoul, is forced to retreat back into the club to seek cover. Amid the chaos, Raoul decides to sacrifice himself to protect Mia, his beloved niece. He confronts the enemies alone, buying time for the others to escape. Walker, Mia, and Charlie finally manage to flee through the back exit of the club. But after realizing Vincent's involvement in the chain of events, Walker comes to a critical realization. His comatose colleague in the hospital is now in grave danger. That colleague could be the key witness to expose everyone involved, including Walker and Vincent. Walker quickly contacts Ely, urging her to head to the hospital immediately to ensure their colleague's safety. Unfortunately, Walker's fears turn out to be justified. At that very moment, Vincent has already ordered Ching to eliminate the comatose officer before he regains consciousness and reveals the truth. When Ellie arrives at the hospital, Ching has already taken action and killed Walker's colleague. As Ching prepares to kill NG, the officer's wife, Ellie arrives just in time to save her. Though a struggle ensues, NG also ends up as a victim of Ching's brutal attack. Despite the violence, Ellie manages to overpower the situation and captures Ching alive.
Don't fucking move.
Okay.
The story shifts back to Walker, who takes Charlie and Mia to an old cabin once owned by his grandfather, located in a remote area. There, he takes advantage of the brief moment of calm to contact Lawrence and inform him that Charlie has been found. Unbeknownst to him, Lawrence's phone is already in the hands of the Triad boss. As a result, their hideout is compromised. Once their location is revealed, the Triad boss immediately orders her troops to the cabin. She even brings Lawrence along, intending to make him witness his son's death, so he can feel the same pain of loss she has endured. Meanwhile, Ely visits the home of Walker's ex-wife and their young daughter, seeking clues about Walker's usual hideouts.
Here's this place down by the lake.
After receiving a lead about the old cabin, Ely puts together a plan. She heads to the train station with Ching, intending to use him as bait to lure Vincent and his last remaining accomplice. As hoped, Vincent and his partner arrive at the station carrying a bag full of narcotics. While the three are in the middle of a transaction, Ely suddenly appears and successfully arrests all of them.
What now?
Elsewhere, Walker is preparing to welcome Lawrence, whom he believes has come to take Charlie home. But instead, a battalion of Triad enforcers shows up, immediately surrounding and assaulting the cabin with heavy firepower. In this dire situation, Walker, Mia, and Charlie hide inside the cabin, trying to survive the brutal assault from all directions. As bullets rain down, Walker uses clever tactics to neutralize the attackers one by one, firing back at every intruder attempting to break in. At one point, as a shot nearly ends his life, fired from beneath the floor, Walker manages to grab a weapon from one of the fallen enemies. Without hesitation, he fires downward, killing the enemy hiding below the cabin floor. Walker was truly overwhelmed by the relentless onslaught of the Triad forces that kept coming without end. When his last bullet ran out, he was forced to grab an iron hook hanging inside the cabin and use it as an improvised weapon. With all his remaining strength, Walker took down enemy after enemy trying to get inside. However, after neutralizing all the shooters, a new threat appeared. A blonde woman, the most dangerous Triad member and an unmatched martial arts expert. Unlike the others, this woman possessed advanced combat skills that left Walker helpless. In the fierce duel, Walker fell and was trapped under the collapsed roof debris, leaving him unable to move. As the blonde woman slowly approached Walker's seemingly unconscious body, intending to ensure the policeman's death, Walker suddenly raised a pistol he had managed to reach and fired, dramatically ending the woman's life. After the fight, Walker finally lost consciousness from exhaustion. At the same time, Mia and Charlie were captured by the remaining Triad forces and taken to face the Triad boss who had just arrived at the scene. There, Lawrence, Charlie's father, was forced to make a tragic decision. He was handed a pistol in order to choose who must die, his own biological son or Mia. As the tension grew and Lawrence remained trapped in his dilemma,
Sorry, sir.
No, that's no! No! What's your mama think? You? No! No, Dad, listen to me.
Ely appeared with 3 prisoners, Ching, Vincent, and one of Vincent's accomplices. From this moment, the hidden truth began to unfold. Ailey revealed the fact that the real killers of the Triad boss's son were Vincent and his two partners, who carried out the massacre under Ching's orders. Ching's motive was finally exposed. He had long coveted the position as Triad leader, wanting to replace the boss's son, whom he considered too young and inexperienced. To seize the position, Ching orchestrated a conspiracy by framing Charlie as the scapegoat so no one would suspect him. The Triad boss was truly devastated. She never expected the greatest betrayal to come from her most trusted aide, someone who had served under her command for a long time. But before she could make a decision, the situation drastically changed. One of Vincent's accomplices suddenly knocked Ailey down and pointed a gun at Charlie. Seeing this, Lawrence didn't hesitate to sacrifice himself and took the bullet meant for his son. At that moment, Walker regained consciousness. The scene instantly erupted into a massive shootout between Vincent and his partner against the Triad forces. Amid the chaos, Ching managed to seize a pistol and mercilessly shot the Triad boss, completing his betrayal in blood. Shortly after successfully shooting dead the Triad boss, Ching immediately fled and went into hiding. At his hideout, he repacked the bag of drugs he intended to escape with. However, Vincent did not let Ching get away so easily. Without hesitation, he shot Ching until he was critically wounded, ending his former comrade's betrayal. Meanwhile, Vincent's remaining partner displayed incredible ferocity by slaughtering the entire Triad squad single-handedly. Afterward, he turned his attention to Ailey, who was still alive and posed a threat to them. However, Charlie, deeply mourning the loss of his loved ones, did not remain passive. With burning determination, he found a weapon nearby and fought Vincent's partner to protect Ailey. On the other side, Vincent tried to escape carrying the bag of drugs. Unintentionally, Walker spotted him and immediately gave chase. Vincent planned to flee by boarding a passing train, but his plan was thwarted when Walker shot him until he was incapacitated. In his wounded state, Vincent tried to negotiate. He questioned what benefit Walker would gain by stopping him from escaping. Firmly, Walker replied that 3 good people had lost their lives because of Vincent's actions. Angie, his wife who was also their colleague, and a police informant Vincent shot 2 years ago. Because of this, Walker believed Vincent deserved to be punished for all his deeds. After everything ended, Mia and Charlie decided to continue with their plan to leave town. Ailey, understanding that neither of them was directly involved in the main criminal acts, deliberately let them go. Meanwhile, Walker chose to face the consequences of his past. He felt deeply guilty for having been involved in dirty work and accepting illicit money from Lawrence, the city official. All the chaos that befell him was now regarded as a fitting retribution, in line with the film's title, Havoc. At the end of the story, Walker decided to turn himself into the police. Before doing so, he asked Ellie to deliver a Christmas gift to his beloved daughter. With heavy but remorseful steps, Walker chose the path of redemption, and the story ended.